welcome to WNCT show with only good news on this weekend. Thanks so much for being here for 9 on the positive side. One North Carolina man doesn't just know how to play a guitar, he actually makes them by hand. Chad Tucker takes us to Mount Airy to show us why the sounds of a guitar are so sweet.
I have played since I was 12, and so about 50 years. My wife told me initially that I was obsessed with building guitars.
Steve Fussel's obsession.
This is where the magic happens.
This is it.
Started about 10 years ago.
And then I will put a liner on it, kerfing on it. I was not a woodworker at all, so I thought it would be neat.
A close friend introduced Steve to renowned luthier Gerald Anderson,
Everybody from here over makes guitars because of him.
who passed down the love of the craft.
He was the glue that held everybody together, and such a sweet guy. You put a neck block in, a tail block in.
Since then, Steve's picked up the tempo, building beautiful guitars like these by hand.
This is a Sitka spruce top, and then this has curly maple sides and back.
Steve says it all comes down to the wood.
This came from my gun cabinet my dad had. It was a piece of mahogany he had, still got the paint on it. Sometimes I make them just because the wood is beautiful and I like the different combinations of wood. I like to build pretty guitars. This stuff wants to slide around, so you have to be careful.
The chords of the craft have taught Steve the resonance of life.
You learn something new about every time that you do something. And I tell you what you do, you learn what not to do.
With a melody of luthiers who helped him grow and fine-tune his craft.
And so that's the kind of people I like to be around.
Steve is passing it on too.
That would lay right on top and then glue, and that's what would hold the back on. And
making sure the sounds of wood and strings will always be music to our ears.
what I can do today is because of people who are willing to pass down their knowledge.
In Mount Airy,
And those guys are
looking for Roy's folk.
fabulous makers and musicians
Chad Tucker,
and genuinely great people.
Fox 8 News.
And without them, I wouldn't be able to do anything that I'm doing.
That truly is incredible. Now we're going to head over to Martin County right here in the east. Children there are diving headfirst into reading. Let's take a look. In late February, kindergartners at Martin County schools got a personalized I Like Me book. Rotary Club member Tom Franklin had the idea for this program. He hopes the books would encourage kids to read more.
It's a program called I Like Me. It's a reading program for kindergartners.
This is the first time that we're doing it. Hopefully this is something that we continue in the future. The thing that I've been saying the most today is that it's a little bit of work for a whole lot of good.
Throughout the day, a volunteer sat with each child to read them a new book. Each book includes details about the child, their friends, teachers, and even where they go to school. Now, for this full story, all you have to do is check out our online originals. That's going to be under the Features tab over on our website, WNCT.com. Hands down, this might be the most adorable yearbook photo you'll see this year.
We love Gibbs! We love Gibbs!
K-9 Detective Gibbs is the first facility in the Camp Hill School District in Pennsylvania, alongside his partner, school resource officer Joe Capers. The outgoing Golden Retriever spends his days welcoming students to school and also, of course, bringing smiles and cuddles to the classroom.
I wanted something to break down the barrier and kind of make me as a police officer more approachable to the kids. I hear from kids like, you know, that might not be having the best day. They say, you know, he's the only reason I came to school, or he's the best part of my day, and that's kind of what we were hoping.
And just so you know, besides the yearbook picture that you just saw, Gibbs will also be making an appearance as a chaperone for the high school prom. Sounds like a lot of fun. A group of Pitt County high school students are getting hands-on experience that not only benefits them, but also our four-legged friends. Now to your sides, Caitlin Richards takes us inside the classroom that's become a community effort.
There's a great need for homes for dogs here in Pitt County, and at North Pitt High School, students are not only learning how to build, but they're giving dogs like Emery a better life.
How's everybody doing today?
When the bell rings inside Mr. Linkas's construction class, it's all hands on deck.
I had a vision to give back to the community, but I didn't know how to give back. So I partnered with Chad Singleton at Pitt County Animal Services, and he brought the idea up that Pitt County Animal Services needed dog houses all the time.
Pitt County Animal Services say they see this need while going out on calls.
It's when we get a lot of the welfare calls when it's raining, when it's cold, or when it's hot. And when they go to these calls and see that the dogs don't have proper shelter, now we have a resource to be able to give back to the community.
And the material is coming from the community.
We donated the materials along with ABC, who donated the shingles. We were made aware of the opportunity to give back to the community, that there was a partnership going on between Pitt County Animal Services and North Pitt High School, and we jumped at the opportunity to be able to give back to the construction community, because there is such a need for good people with good skills coming out of high school.
For students,
just really coming in and experience what other jobs might be like outside of high school, and having a great teacher to help us with it.
After building the dog houses from start to finish, which takes around 2 days, students enjoy the payoff.
You're actually helping the dogs and people that can't afford stuff. You're helping them get stuff that they need and to take care of their animals, so it makes us feel good.
When the Pitt County Animal Shelter takes the dog houses to the needed location, they also provide pet education. What starts in class is helping the at-risk pet population. In Pitt County, Caitlin Richards, 9 on your side.
Such a great effort over there. Now, 5th graders are learning how important it is to give back. Coming up next on 9 on the positive side, what they're doing to help canines stay protected. A group of 5th graders is helping make sure some Arkansas police officers have bulletproof vests, even the ones with 4 legs. Police canine Rip plays an essential role in fighting crime, but he doesn't have the same safety equipment as other officers. Chad Mira explains.
Here. Up. One of K9 Officer Rip's latest assignments. Seats. Leading the 5th graders at Old High Middle.
I think that he's super cute, and what impresses me that he can go to a cute little dog than to a dog that protects people.
Officer Michael Jarrow showing Hayden Deegan and her classmates how important Rip can be.
He's an integral part of my life. We're with each other 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Drug sniffing, arresting the bad guys. He's also trained in trailing. Rip does it all.
He'll put his life on the line for me, and I'll do the same for him. So I feel like he deserves to have all the protection that he can get.
But the kids noticed Rip was missing something important, and their teacher, Julie Turner, turned it into their next class project.
What we're doing is called a PBL. It stands for problem-based learning. And so I just brought to them this problem. We've got a canine dog that needs to be protected, and what are we going to do?
Here. The answer? A $3,000 bullet and stab-proof vest, and the kids would raise the money themselves.
They risk their lives for us, and the least that we could do is provide them with something that could help them stay protected.
Deegan has experience making money. She has her own dog treat business called Paw Street.
They have banana, chicken, and peanut butter flavored.
So she got the fundraising started.
We just asked for donations, and then if they had like a $1 donation, we would give them a bag.
The whole class jumped in, writing businesses, asking the community for donations, even making these buttons to thank the donors.
I'm immensely proud of my kids.
So far, they've raised almost $700 for Rip's new vest.
Sometimes it's better to give other people things than keep it for yourself.
And they won't stop until the mission is complete.
Your dog is amazing.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Good job. Good job.
They're enjoying the space, and just the energy of everyone it runs through me, and it's amazing.
Next, we'll get a look inside this Pennsylvania coffee shop and how the teenager owning this business started. A nonprofit in Richmond, Virginia is giving children with disabilities the gift of independence and mobility that they didn't have before. Maggie Marshall shares the impact it's having on local families.
Saturday was far from average for 6-year-old Grant Rose. By the smile on his face, you'd almost think it was his birthday. And while it wasn't, he was getting a very big gift from Richmond nonprofit Reach Cycles. A gift of a custom tricycle.
So just seeing him on something as simple as that bike, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was a really good feeling. Because, you know, you just want to see your kid be able to do all the things other kids do. It's another thing that he can conquer and get to do and explore, so it's incredible.
Reach Cycles, since its start in 2014, has donated more than 700 bikes to children and military veterans. On Saturday, 25 kids got fitted for their bikes. The organization wants all children to experience the freedom that comes with riding a bike. Maya Baines felt that freedom.
And I'm in your way, girl.
When she gained her wheels, nothing was standing in her way.
It feels real good to see a kid smile.
Moments like these, to see a smile, to see hope, to see freedom just to be a kid, makes it all worth it for this nonprofit.
You know, a lot of them have been told they may never ride a bike again, so I mean, it's just an incredible privilege for all of us. It just makes it all worthwhile in these days when kids roll out here with their brand new bike.
Going down the hill. See ya.
In Richmond, Maggie Marshall, CBS 6 News.
And those smiles, don't they just make you smile? A woman in Door County, Wisconsin is making history in the deaf community. This is Brooke Black. She's a server in Sturgeon Bay and the first hearing impaired server there. Customers communicate with her by circling what they want on the menu. While Brooke says she was born deaf, she does have a cochlear implant to help her hear her daughter.
I'm glad she's my role model. I don't think I could ever look up to anybody else because she shows me that if I want something, I can get there by working hard. She shows me I shouldn't give up on things just because other people say no.
The restaurant's owner says some customers have even gone as far as learning sign language themselves to use with Brooke the next time they come in. A new coffee shop in Pennsylvania is quickly attracting customers. The owner is no stranger to the area, and guess what? He's also a teenager. Bobby Laurie has this story.
Alex Rojan's road to opening a coffee shop at 19 years old started in high school.
I started volunteering at the Cracked Pot Coffee Shop. That was in the summer of 2019. I was just looking for a job as I just turned 16. And I always loved the inside of coffee shops, the atmosphere, the people. So I figured I'd give it a go.
He used his time as a volunteer to immerse himself in the coffee shop experience, and soon after, he accepted his first official job.
I started working then at a local coffee shop, Idea Coffee, and when I was working there, I became a manager after about a year or so. That was really cool. It was a really great experience for me because when I was managing, I was able to learn the other side of managing a business.
With his experience behind the counter and as a manager at the age of 18.
Yeah, no, you can just give him another one.
Rojan put the wheels in motion to open his own coffee shop.
I started talking to my parents about it. Initially, they weren't against it or anything. They just kind of wanted to hear more about it. They wanted me to look into it more. They understood that college wasn't the path for everybody, which I really appreciated because I wasn't the biggest fan of high school. I really enjoyed working. That's where I got most of my enjoyment from.
Then Down to Earth was born. Some of the tables, chairs, and fixtures are secondhand, a nod to the mission statement to reuse and recycle.
I wanted it to be welcoming for sure, but I also wanted it to resemble its name. Down to Earth Cafe. I wanted there to be lots of earthy tones, greens and browns and oranges.
The menu features a full coffee shop beverage offering, and most of the food is made in-house.
All of our baked goods and pastries are made in-house. I really wanted to make those in-house because it allowed me to control the ingredients.
So how does it feel owning and running your own coffee shop at just 19 years old?
Well, when this place is, all the seats are taken and it's full and it's packed in here, I feel like I get goosebumps because everyone's here. They're enjoying the space, and just the energy of everyone it runs through me, and it's amazing.
In Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, I'm Bobby Laurie.
I was going to go through the drive-thru, but the line was too long. So I decided to park and walk inside.
And it's a good thing he did. Next, how a trip to get lunch turned into a lifetime of memories. Sometimes love can be found in the strangest of places. For one Wisconsin couple, it happened to be in the line at a Wisconsin McDonald's 27 years ago. When the establishment heard the couple's special love story, they just knew they had to celebrate them, providing a spread with roses and also, of course, a special meal. Emerson Lehman was there for the special occasion.
Even on a cold, rainy February day.
How are you?
Good, how are you? You can't wipe the smiles off the faces of lovebirds Cindy and Mark Franciscina.
You didn't forget?
No. After all, nothing says I love you like a burger and some fries.
I am just going to have a quarter pounder meal, please.
27 years ago, Mark pulled into the parking lot at this McDonald's just off of Green Bay Road in Racine.
I was going to go through the drive-thru, but the line was too long. So I decided to park and walk inside.
Little did he know, the decision would change his life.
I was in line, and then I had turned and looked and saw her next to me in the line to my right.
The her Mark is referring to is now his wife, Cindy, who had the same craving for some fries and a Coke.
She said hi to me and she smiled, and when she smiled, I was like, man, wow. She is beautiful.
Way too kind.
No, I mean, I was like stricken, man. She was beautiful.
The two grabbed their respective orders and went on their way until.
And I stopped and looked back at her, and as she got to her car, she stopped and turned and looked back at me. And I was like, well, that's a done deal. I got to go after her now. I got to chase her down.
Chase her down he did, eventually exchanging phone numbers in the parking lot of a nearby car wash. Cindy even keeping the notepad.
This was like actual phones, like landline.
Every year since, on February 9th, she's had a date at noon at the same restaurant with her McDonald's guy.
We never said anything to each other. We just always showed up. At noon at this McDonald's. Well, there were years I was like, oh, he better show up if he forgets. And
no, we never have,
without
though.
fail, we've
never
had.
We've always just both shown up and had lunch without even reminding each other anything.
The chance encounter has led to more than just an annual lunch date. Cindy and Mark married in 1999 and now have 3 kids and 2 grandchildren to share their story with, one they feel can inspire hope for others who may face hurdles in their love life, just as they have.
Coming from a broken marriage and then, meeting him on February 9th of that year. We didn't come to McDonald's looking to meet our future husband or wife.
Right.
We weren't desperate.
While admittedly every day isn't filled with roses and sweet treats,
we have been through a lot in the last 27 years.
They've stayed by each other's side through thick and thin, offering support, love, and laughs.
I wouldn't trade any of it.
Right, same.
We're blessed. It's been wonderful.
Nearly 3 decades later, the couple looks back on their journey and can't help but smile.
It's so fun to just revisit and know that we continued this tradition.
A tradition of love with a side of fries.
Some people swipe right, but instead we just go to McDonald's.
And that was Emerson Lehman reporting for us. Thanks so much for joining us for 9 on the Positive Side this weekend. Now we're going to head over to the golf course where I guess surf's up. Have a great day, everyone.